Hi everybody, and welcome to Gettin' Crafty with Kimberly. It's a show that's focused on neat and crafty ideas that can be made with items found around the house, or if you're upcycling, you can start from scratch. Hey, you're going to love this show. Today we're making something called outdoor drink holders, and they are just exactly what they sound like they are. It's a drink holder that you can stand in the sand if you're going to the beach, or you can put it in the ground or whatever you want to do with it, somewhere in a sand bucket, and it holds your drinks. So let's get started. Today you're going to be needing some cans, just some empty cans that you've had food in. Make sure and wash them out, of course. Any size cans, but the bigger the better, because you can hold larger things in it. You're going to need some fabric scraps, some scissors or a rotary. You're also going to need a hammer and nail. Need a nail or a drill bit. You can use a drill bit if you'd rather not. My experience with drill bits is that I've broken all mine and haven't replaced them yet. So I'm going to be using a nail today. Also, you'll need a sponge brush, some Mod Podge, and then for some of your most important things, you'll need some 1/4-inch nuts, and you'll also need 2 large washers that'll match those, as well as your 1/4-inch rod. And this one I got 36 inches long because I figure you can put it in the ground however much you need, and then you can still sit it by your chair and still have your beverage there. So let's get started. First thing you want to do, of course, is clean out your can. And what I have done is I've cleaned out all of my cans, but the easiest way to cut your fabric to go around it, if you have, if you still have your cans or you're planning on using them, is to get the label off of your can. I'm using a big can because I want to put some big beverages in mine, but use the label if you'd like. It just makes it a little bit easier to make a pattern to cut out your fabric. So we're going to cut out our fabric here. I've just got some little scraps that I've found. And I'm going to put that right down there. And I'm going to cut out my fabric. You'll want to make this probably just a couple of inches longer than your can is, because you'll want it maybe to be able to fold up on the end when you get finished. Do better if I open it up there. But you'll want it to be able to go around the edge so you won't have a seam showing. It'll just look a lot neater and nicer that way. So I'm going to make that one a couple inches there. Just slide that right over. Now you'll want to make 2 pieces of fabric, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. One of them is going to be the outside of our can, and then another one we want it to be the same length, but it doesn't have to be the same width. So we'll just cut this one about a couple of inches. See what we end up with here. So there we go. Got our fabric, couple of inches. We've got our big piece and our small piece. All right, so we can do away with that now. All right, now you'll want to get your can and go ahead and use your Mod Podge or whatever you'd like. I like the Mod Podge for it because I just like Mod Podge. It's easy to work with and it seems to dry well. And for the finishing of this product, I tried to find some outdoor Mod Podge and I couldn't find any. I know they make it, but I wasn't able to find any. So I'm just going to go ahead and dude up my can. You can dude up your fabric or your can, whichever way you like it. I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge my can all the way around, because this will be our glue that will hold our fabric on. And then toward the end, I'll tell you about the outdoor item that you'll need if you're going to use it outdoors. If you're going to take it in and out, you won't have to put an extra gloss on it, but if you're going to leave it outside, I'd make sure and cover it. But that comes up in just a minute. All right, so we've got all of our Mod Podge here. Got our can all duded up. All right, now I'm going to put my fabric on it. I'm just going to start my fabric right here on the can. And then I'm just going to roll it on around. And make sure you take out all the bubbles and folds. You could even, if you were so inclined, you could iron this, if your fabric had, folds like mine does, but I'm just going to be using it. I'm not going to enter it in a beauty contest. So I think I'm going to be all right with a few folds and a little bit in it. And just smooth it as you go. Smoothie, smoothie. All right, so now I'm at the end. Now I'm going to put a little bit more Mod Podge on here and fold this over. Make sure that I've got my end to where it won't come off. Do the fabric there. See where we're at. We're going to straighten it up a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit more right there. All right, so this is how your can's going to look, with a little bit of fabric. All right, now you'll want to get your can prepared, and this is where you can use a drill bit. Like I said, I've broken all mine, or you can use a nail. And so I'm going to use this great old big nail and poke a hole right in the middle of the can. I didn't mean to tear everything up as I was going to do it though. I'm going to get a little sun and put that down there. There we go. All right, I've got my hole right there in the middle of my can. Just drill that out a little bit. All right, so there we go. So we've got our can. We've got our hole in the bottom of the can. Put just a little bit more on that. All right, normally what you would do here is you would let your can dry, but because we're not going to take that kind of time, we're not going to let it dry. All right, now you'll need one of your 36 quarter round, 36 long. Like I said, it doesn't have to be 36 long, but that would be the best thing. Even if you want it longer, it just depends on where you want it to go. All right, and let's go ahead and put our top on this though. You may be worried about the inside of the can cutting you, so let's just go ahead. This is what your little scrap is for. So we'll go ahead and glue this on while we're at it. You'll want to fold this in half after you put your glue on it. So we'll get our Mod Podge. Get that all going there. All right, now I'm going to fold this in half. This will give it a double protective layer around the cut of the inside of your can. Fold that. Oh, I like that side better, so I'm going to put this side out. And then normally you would let this dry as well. Now I didn't use any kind of biasing or anything, so I'm going to put a little nip in this so it'll go around the top of our can about every ½ inch or so. Just a little bitty nip. That way you won't have any creases or anything. But if you want to use bias tape and stuff, you can. But I find this is just easier and you need less supplies. So just cut a little bitty nip all along your material here. All right, and I think that'll do. I'm going to go ahead and trim these edges off too while I'm at it. All right, now I'm going to put my Mod Podge inside the rim of the can just to help out there. You're going to get it just like that so you can stick your fabric on it. If you were going somewhere to visit somebody over the weekend or, you know, anytime, and they were going to have a picnic or something, and you wanted to take them a little something, something like this is so easy to make and so unbelievably inexpensive. All right, so since this one's got a big lip around the top of it, I'm going to do it like that. Make it a little bit fancier, just because I think that's cute. So all we're doing here now is just gluing our rim on. I've got glue all over my hands, but wipe them off a little bit. Now, if you've got too large of a lip on the outside of your can, you can always put it around the outside like that, which is what I think I'm going to do on this one. Since I've got glue stuck all over my hand, I keep pulling it off. And you can see how the little cut edges do there, how those little snips work out. You really needed those so you don't have bubbles in it. And this one's a little bit longer than I need, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off. All right, normally this would be really cute and really finished. Since I've got glue all over me though, I keep gluing it everywhere. All right, so anyway, so this is how basically this would look with your rim inside there, and that takes care of that pesky can so you don't get cut on that. All right, now you'll let this dry. You would need to let all these fabrics and stuff dry so you don't tear your fabrics off. So I'm going to do my hands like that again, get rid of the fabric. All right, now you'll want to get your rod and take one of your bolts or one of your nuts and go about 4 inches down on your rod. And I'll show you why in just a minute. All right, so that's probably a good 4 inches there. Yeah, right at it. And then put one of your washers on top of that. Now, turn your can upside down. Stick your washer through there. I'm going to go ahead and take the inside of mine off since I messed it up. But anyway, now I'm going to put this a little bit more because I want this to come all the way to the top, and I'll show you why. It's going to make it so much easier for you, regardless of what size can you use. All right, there we go. All right, so now you've got this and this. This is what you're looking at now. You should have nut, washer, bottom of can. Then inside the can, you'll want to put a washer, which will help hold that down, and then you'll want to put a nut right here on the end of it. When you get your nut on, it's very important to put it even with the end of your rod, because that way whatever beverages you stick down in there won't end up with a hole in them, especially if it's a can or a plastic bottle, either one. All right, so I've got this right level with my rod. Okay, turn it back over. Now, I'm going to twist it up. And then this is where my glue is going to come in handy. I'm going to go ahead for some extra security so this doesn't roll around. I'm going to glue my washer down. And that'll just give us some extra goodies there to help it hold on. And again, I've got an outdoor glue, you know, something that can stand the water. All right, then according to your manufacturer's suggestions on your glue drying there, you'll want to let that dry. And this takes a little while, but you're in absolutely no hurry. And then bolt. These don't take but just a few minutes, so you won't be in too large of a hurry. I think I've glued mine down. All the glue on my hands there. Or I've got it misthreaded one. All right, you'll want to screw your nut down just as tight as you can get it, and that'll also help that dry. Tight, tight, tight. This will ensure that you don't lose it, and it'll sit up straight when you've got it in the ground or in your sand bucket, whatever you've got going on there. Okay, I'll make sure I've got that on the end, and I do. I have that right in the end there. So I'm going to continue to tighten that just as tight as I can. Even there, and then when you get all finished, you have a really nice can holder. Got all over. Like I said, let all this dry really nicely though. Then I'm going to go inside and tighten it up just a pinch in here, because I want it just to be nice and tight to where it doesn't come undone. And remember, you've got your washers, your large washers in here too, which is going to help stabilize it quite a bit. All right, I think I've got mine on pretty tight there. All right, so this is what it looks like when it's all finished up. Take your scissors and trim up the ends. Now, if you are still concerned about the little mark, the little nut and bolt that you've got down in there, you're thinking that it'll punch the can or something. See, that fits right in there nicely. This will fit a can, pretty much anything. This is a 16-ounce bottle too, so it'll fit whatever you'd like in there. Isn't that cute? But now if you're concerned about this, you can fill in the bottom of it. There is something called, I think it's Environtex or something. I couldn't find any, and I didn't have any. And so I thought about just taking silicone. So I'm just going to use some silicone and put it over the end of my thing here, the end of my nut and bolt, and that'll just make it a little bit softer. But if you wanted to fill in yours, you could make some kind of a filling that goes in there, and just like a 1/4 inch deep or something, and that'll keep you from having that. But anyway, there you go. There is our beach, outdoor, summer picnic, whatever you want to call it, can holder. All right, now, if you've got more cans than you know what to do with, something else you can do with them, which I thought was really, really cute for like a summer party or something along those lines, is some cans with just tea lights. Go ahead and light this one up and show you how it looks. These are really adorable, especially at nighttime. You may not be able to see it so much during the day, but in the nighttime, this really comes out cute. I don't know if you can tell how it looks now. But anyway, that's all lit up. And I just punched a K in it with the nail. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We'll leave that sitting right there. And this can, we decided that we would paint. And if you would like, you could also spray your high gloss sealer on it too to give it a shine. Which, by the way, is something else that you'll want to do for your can holder too. You'll want to spray it with some kind of good sealant, or if you have some outdoor Mod Podge or something like that. But give it a good seal and then let it dry, and then you can leave it out all year long or bring it in, whatever you decide you want to do. All right, now back to this, the little cans that we're going to make decorative. You'll just paint your can. You can leave your can simple, like I did this one, just whatever you would like to do. Now, if you want to make a little design on your can, you can just draw one out, or you can just do like I did, and I just kind of winged it because I thought it would be really cute and really fun. But now you're wondering how in the world you're going to be able to nail into this can without the can bending. Well, you have to find some kind of block of wood or something that'll fit down inside your can. So I found this block of wood just lying around, as a lot of blocks of wood are lying around my house. And I'm just going to wad it up in this, just an old cloth, to make sure that it fits. All right, and as it goes, since my block is not round, I just kind of moved the edge to wherever I was working to make it nice and stiff. So I guess we'll try and make us maybe, we'll make us a K on this one. and you just hold it. Now it's good if you have something that you can lock it in with. When I was sitting making a few of them, I sat and put them between my feet, just had my feet hold them up. And again, you'll want to make sure that you've got that block where it'll hit the wood. That way you do not bend your can, because otherwise you can't do this without bending your can. Just any kind of little nail, and see, it makes your holes there. So I'm just going to do is a plain old K. You could spell out words if you were going to have some type of a party. Any kind of words or designs. If you were going to have a wedding, you could put like starbursts. It would be so, so cute. And this is really, there's not much to this. You have to have absolutely zero skill. But again, make sure you move your block around to where your wood's going to hit it. There we go. Actually, I think I'm going to make this an H. I have some friends who could use some of these, so I'm going to make this one an H. My block is there. And I know my block is there because I can see where my cloth is coming through. And depending on what size nail you use, obviously your hole is going to be that size. I like the larger holes because then more candlelight comes through there. And if you were afraid of the candlelight, you could always use those little tea lights that you can get at the dollar places, the ones that are battery operated that you just leave, you can leave on. Then you don't have to worry after your event's over about going around and blowing everything out, because they'll just go out when the battery runs out. All right, so I put an H in this one. And I think now on the back side, I'm going to put just like a starburst on it. Just a little something that'll be really cute. That way, coming around from all angles of the can, you'll be able to see a cute design. So when you get ready to go outside, you're going to love it. These would even be beautiful around Christmas time to put your names in, or draw some little stars or something, and then plant your artificial poinsettia coming out of the can like a can holder. But of course you would want to use the artificial candles then. And I didn't take time to spray this one with the sealer, so you'll want to do that, because if not, the paint will come off. I'm scratching it all left and right. And again, turn your wood where you can see. I was going to put a few little dots here, make it look kind of like a starburst. All right, I think this might be a cute little design. I've got the little starbursty type thing, plus then I've got an H on this side. So we'll put us another tea light in and see how this one looks. And these are so easy to do and so economical. I got this 10-pack of little tea lights for $1. I got my 10 cans free and fed my family, so that was pretty nice. So this is just a win-win all the way around. So I hope maybe you can see it a little bit, see how our letters and stuff are looking. Hope you can make that out there. Nice little shiny candle light. Very fun, very easy project, very inexpensive project, and something you could do. And then when you're finished with it, when your party's over, when it's time for everybody to go home, all you have to do is gather all this stuff up with it, and if you're done with it, throw it away. So that's what I like, is cleaning up the mess. Well, I hope that you get some good use out of your outdoor drink holders. They should last you a very long time. Well, thank you very much for coming and watching and hanging out with us today. We hope that you've enjoyed today's show. I know I've had a really good time doing it. If you'd like to keep up with us, you can check us out on Facebook and Twitter. And please make sure to join us next time on Gettin' Crafty with Kimberly. Bye.